Hello everybody, and welcome back to Undefeated. Last time we had Xander, is that his name? I'll remember these names eventually. You gotta give me a few parts, right? Did his first match and got beat up by Brucey. And is in a predicament with his, contract or something. It was a little bit weird. A little bit odd explanation. But we have this little guy, Theodore, the Raboot. We're gonna hang out with him for a bit, right? Where we have our concussion, and we're in our bed, right? Or I guess a hospital bed. I guess it's technically our bed now, but that's fine. That's fine. Theodore just sort of stands there, quiet. He seems less nervous now. He still won't make eye contact with me. Is there anything else I can answer for you? I don't even know what to say. What to ask? I'm struggling to process what I'm hearing. Theodore notices my silence and steps away from the bed. I'll give you some time, Alex. I can't bother correcting him. If you need to speak with me, please reach out to any of our helpful staff here. Rest well. And with that, Theodore trails out of the room. And I'm alone again. Aww. Theodore's trying his best. He's just a little manager, I assume? Commissioner? What was his job again? Being a silly little guy? Sometime, he says. They say time heals all wounds. You'd think it'd be able to make any of this, but I'd be able to make any of this any easier. But it's been a few days, and I still haven't done much. Oh, but we're in a bright room now. It is probably daytime, or someone bothered to turn on the lights, unlike the previous day. The quality of the medical staff here definitely is as advertised. Everyone is so receptive to my needs, though I really try not to ask for all that much. The last few days kind of went by without much going on, aside from whatever the nurses are putting into my body. They explained it as a medical steroid type thing. I should probably have paid more attention. Whatever it is, I'm not allowed to leave my bed outside of a bathroom breaks. Excuse me. Any amount of serious movement could extend the healing process, they say. They did also say that it's restrictive for newbies, though. Bodies react differently to new medicines, especially for stuff as strong as this. They need to keep me monitored just to make sure nothing goes wrong in my system, apparently. Kind of sucks that I can't even go for a walk. My legs have been aching for a while. My ears flicker over to the door, catching some footsteps that seem to be getting closer. They were proven right, with the door swinging open, and a man that I assume is my doctor waltzes in with a clipboard. Oh, look at this guy. Does he have a belly? If we think about this. Does he have a little dad bod? Just thinking. Yeah, don't worry about those stray thoughts I have sometimes. Don't worry about any of that. Good morning, Alex. Xander. My name is Dr. Drayden. I'm the athletic physician that's been working with your case. How are you? How are we feeling today? A sigh slips out my mouth, but I catch myself when his head turns up to face me. Oh, here, let me turn up the game volume a bit. I'm good. I sort of shake my head, and not really pleased with my first interaction with the guy. He doesn't seem to notice. Gotcha. Well, Alex, we've got your test results back. Good news and bad news. My eyebrows twitch. What's the bad news? He pauses, his mouth contorts in a frustrated way, like I said something he didn't want to hear. Well, the good news is that you're good to go. Everything came back negative, and your shoulder should be as good as new. The cat flashes a smile that warms my chest. I let out a breath that I must have been holding in for a while. That's relieving to know. And the bad news? The paper he has lifted off the clipboard had been flicked back down, and he flashes a wink at me. The bad news is that you're probably going to be seeing a lot more of me. Given your situation. He lets out a small laugh, and my heart sinks right back. While I had spent the last few days keeping myself distracted with some television, I'm not particularly keen on thinking about the repercussions of my current predicament. He can tell I'm not exactly excited with that prospect either, and his laugh peters out. Well, I mean, at least, I hope you don't. Ted filled me in on the situation. Sounds like you're, really going through it. You could put it that way, yeah. His smile stayed for a second or so before he snapped down to his clipboard. But, yes, so, vitals. Blood test came back negative, mild concussion, x-rays are looking fine. You'll need a bit of physical therapy to get your rotor and tendon back up to speed, but otherwise, we're able to discharge you right away. Don't shoulders take a couple of weeks to get fixed? Usually, yes. I take it you've had this happen before. I frown. Dislocated, yeah. Under different circumstances, though. Drayden? Okay. Drayden waves his hand noncommittally, sorry. Of course. So you probably know how it goes. Usually there's no serious exercise allowed. No major lifting, none of that. However, the steroids we've pumped into your systems are special. They enhance your body's natural regenerative abilities, for lack of a better term. Obviously, it's not going to enhance your ability to fight or anything, and it won't help you recover your wounds during a fight. But it gets our fighters up and running much faster than they would naturally. So everyone's grateful for that, at least. Oh, I'd say. The smile on his face made him look almost proud of the process. I can't exactly say I blame him. And the tests? Do some simple blood work, really. Oh, just some simple blood work. Make sure your liver's handling the medication properly, and, cancer. Things like that. My heart jumps at that word, and then I sit up. Cancer? Again, though, he shakes his hand casually, like trying to shoo me away. There hasn't been any case yet, so I wouldn't exactly be worried about it. Still, if your body decides to push itself too hard, blood work would catch it right off the bat, so we can nip it in the bud before it becomes an issue. I can't help but worry that my contract would get voided if they couldn't use the medication anymore, but Drayden doesn't seem to be fretting over it. The feline pulls a chair away from the wall and drops onto it, crossing his legs and resting his clipboard on them. I'll set you up with some physical therapy with yours truly here in a day, but I think it's best for you to get out of this room. Get some fresh air. Touch the grass, Well, I mean, so to speak. You've been here, 4 days? And the only people you've met were Bruce and Ted. I feel like you'd be more deserving of a proper welcome, all things considered. I nod, still a bit nervous of what that would entail. Would the others here resent me? Would they hate me, applaud me? I haven't exactly had a chance to get a read on anyone else. Now, Alex, before I let you go. His pen clicks. He looks up to me. Do you have any questions for me? His eyes met with mine, a silence lingering between us for a moment. Do I have a question? Yes. For him? Not really. Not anything that he can answer, or anything that he can help with. Come on, Alex. There's gotta be something I can answer. I'm a licensed therapist. Licensed therapist, too. So you can talk with me about anything. My brow furrows. I thought you were an athletic physician. Again, Drayden waves his hand. I wear many hats, Alex. That's probably why they hired me. But I like to think it's because of my winning personality. He gives off that proud smile again. I can't help but breathe out a chuckle. Questions, though, I honestly can't think of anything relevant. I know my situation. I know how the medicine works. I feel like I've gotten a handle on this guy's personality. For the most part, at least. Well, if you've got no questions and you're feeling all right, then we can go ahead and get you on your feet. I guess he took my unintended silence as an answer. Am I feeling all right? I guess I'm pretty anxious to meet everyone else. To continue my training, maybe I just need to psych myself up again, like I did on the elevator before. My stomach turns, though I'm not sure whether that's from thinking about the fight or from the sight of the needles coming out of my skin. Drayden assists me up out of the bed. My first steps are a bit shaky, all things considered. I've hardly walked in 4 days, so okay. So I feel kind of like a fawn for a bit. The sling underneath my arm gets undone and pulled back around my neck. I rotate my shoulder a bit, stretching it out from side to side. It's definitely still sore. Still, it's nice to have an arm back. Can you stick out both your arms for me? Slowly. I oblige, and Drayden slips my gown off of me, balling it up and tossing it into a hamper across the room. After a quiet cheer and a fist bump from making the shot from such a distance, he turns to my bare body. There's a spare change of clothes in the washroom for you. I'll give you a call when I got your physical therapy appointment all set up. And, what else? He snaps his fingers a few times with one hand, holding the bridge of his nose in the other. Alright, rooming situation. Head to the cafeteria. There's a guy there. Red little hyena guy, real sweet guy. He should be looking for you. Okay. I nod and slip into the washroom to the side. Sure enough, under those fluorescent lights was a set of clothes. A familiar tank top and a pair of baggy pants. Putting on these clothes feels nice, feels familiar. It's been so long since I was able to just be properly alone. No one watching me, no cameras, no fights. The clothes press against my fur like a long, loose hug, warming me home. I know I can't stay in this bathroom for too long, but I almost consider it. Drayden would have some questions, though. I want to soak in this feeling for as long as I can. After a bit, I slide back out, Drayden's still there, tapping away on his phone. His ears twitch when I move, and his head follows. All good in there. My mouth curls up into an awkward smile. I'm still not sure how to answer that. Yeah. Thank you. His smile remains, but he waves me off. No thanks needed, just doing my job. Good luck out there. And, hey, if you need to talk, my office is right next door. We exchange another set of awkward thank yous before I leave, following instructions from a nurse to get to the cafeteria. Getting out of the med bay, that's what that says, wing takes a bit of concentration. There are a lot of rooms with various states of occupancy, but there seems to be good spirits all around as I hear them. That's what it says. I almost got the sentences are hard, man. People talking, laughing, joking with each other. I can feel the tightness in my chest loosen ever so slightly. I pass by a few closed doors before leaving the medbay wing entirely. The white and red accented floor tiles swap to light cream as I move to the rest of the main floor. The halls of the facility are surprisingly clean, not like I pictured them as dirty or run down or anything, but they seemed almost sterile. Quiet, too. Even the medbay had a number of people strolling around and on their way to and from rooms and offices. These halls are basically empty, though. I only see one raccoon person stroll by, and he has his earbuds in, a duffel bag under his arm, too, probably on his way back from the gym. He looks pissed. There's a bandage rolled around his bicep, and what looks like a bit of crusted blood perched under his snoot. Don't worry, buddy. It was probably just an off day. I can only imagine how brutal the coaches can be down here. I've heard a bit about them, but nothing about anyone in particular. The guy in the hall flicks his eyes to catch mine. His glare nearly cuts me in half. My eyes dart away. I've really got work on this staring at people thing before it gets me in trouble. He continues past me down the hallway. I'm sure I'll see him again, hopefully on a more friendly terms. It's a big facility, but there's only so many of us down here. At least, I think it's a big facility. I haven't exactly had time to explore. Now could be a good time, though. And it probably won't do me any harm if it's on the way to the cafeteria, right? As I was leaving the med bay, I had passed a number of office rooms. I assume they were general administrative stuff, not really anything juicy there. The raccoon fellow from earlier moved out of one of these next rooms coming up. Upon closer inspection, the walls of this section of the hall are actually giant windows. I decided to look into one. There's two guys practicing some submission wrestling, with a third guy leaning up against the wall. He looks exhausted. Our eyes meet for a second. He looks to his friends, muttering something, and the other two laugh for a second. He looks back up at me and smiles, nodding his head as if to greet me. For some reason, I feel I should have looked away. I feel like I was intruding. I watch people wrestling all the time. This is nothing new for me, at least at my old gym, with my old teammates. I smile and nod at him before walking forward again. I think I see the man mouthing something, pointing at me from the corner of my eye. I definitely should have kept walking sooner. I don't know anyone here yet. It seems rude to engage with some of these folks without at least introducing myself. Though that might have been the reason he was pointing. I still don't know how big of a name I made for myself down here. Do they get to watch the fight? Did anyone see what happened with Bruce? It's not like anyone would make fun of me for something like that, probably. And it's not like I'd really care if they did. That's just more annoying than anything else. I'd just rather go in with as little of a reputation as possible. I pass by a couple dozen more mat rooms, on my way through the halls. Roughly half of them seem to have a similar layout to the first one. Just a large solid mat stretched across the floor. Granted, though, the rest of these were empty. The other half of the rooms had a number of small mats, with one of two large spaces off to the side, marked with a large circle on the ground. Heavy bags line the back walls of these ones, clearly made for striking practice. I feel like I'm going to be spending plenty of time in these rooms. Not like I'll have much of a choice, at least. That first long stretch of the hallway seems to take up one half of the main floor, with a segment on either side of the hall sectioned off for a pair of staircases halfway through. I'll probably figure out where those go eventually. Right now, I need to get to the cafeteria. Even though I'm really not that hungry. Hospital food was pretty damn good. Wait, did he say that it was good? Was pretty damn good. Really? Was it? I always hear those. I haven't actually had hospital food before. That's not a thing that's ever happened to me. I don't know if that stereotype is true or not. So I'll know, guys. You should tell me in the comments though if you've run into like hospitals with good food or bad food. I'm curious. But I can't exactly get to my room without knowing where it is. I mean, I could, but there's probably a key or passcode or something. And I need to find Red to get that information. I could brute force it, but that would take more time, patience, or ramming strength that I'm willing to spend right now. Luckily, the cafeteria seems to be right here, judging by the amount of sound coming from it. I'd heard it from a few doors down, but I guess I must have been too lost in thought. I turned the corner and entered the door into the noise. The open doorway leads into a massive chamber, with tables and seats scattered about all over. These seats, of course, are filled with men of various shapes and sizes and species. The vibe seems similar to what I heard back in the medbay, and just much louder. People chatting, laughing, scarfing down food. If TV and movies were an indication, this is probably what college cafeterias would have been like. It's pretty fucking loud. I'm not sure I can get used to this, though I suppose I'll have to. I start walking through the aisles of tables. Along the back walls are a number of different food stations. Looks like they are. Who's this lad? Man, those are some pecs. Oh shit, my bad, little dude. This rather large wolf has swung his arms out, gesticulating wildly in the story he had been engrossed in. I hadn't noticed until his hand slapped into my right shoulder. I totally didn't see you there. Are you good? He had stung a little bit, but nothing serious. I'm fine, thanks. His friend lets out a quiet laugh. Dude, you gotta watch yourself. You could have broke his arm. They all laughed at that, a little louder this time. I really can't be bothered to deal with this, whether they're joking at my expense or not. I'm not here to talk with them. I turn to walk away. Look at the little guy. Look at the lost little guy. Need any help? God damn it. Yeah, we're fine. We'll just decline. I could just walk away without answering, but that'd probably just cause more problems. I know how these guys are. Or it's just polite to go like, nah, I'm good. Like, come on, Xander. Come on. No, I'm good, thanks. Before they can say anything else, I walk off, heading deeper into the cafeteria. I don't hear anything from them, so I'm assuming they got the message. Little guy. I mean, you were. That CG with you and Bruce, he was lifting you like a couple feet off the ground. You're a tiny little guy. Yeah. He sounded so condescending. I know I'm small. I don't need someone pointing that out. It's so loud in here. I need to find Red so I can get the hell out. This noise is driving me crazy. Drayden said he was a hyena dude. He's probably the small one on the other end of the cafeteria waving at me. Aw, look, all the chairs are different. What do you mean there's... What? You mean the whole cafeteria doesn't have a consistent theming? I know I would be the only one bothered by that. I wade through the aisles and pass by the folks walking around with their trays before finally making it to Red. Yo! Oh, this man's small. This man's small. Okay. I think I'm gonna end the part here, everyone. We'll figure out more about this hyena boy next time, right? So I do hope that you all have enjoyed, and I'll see you guys around.